sorry I didn't upload a video in 2018, so here's a video in 2019 to make up for that. I was originally going to do a double review of the video games Super Mario 3D Land and Super Mario 3D World, but it didn't work out. I was absent in 2018 for multiple reasons. On the last day of 2018, it hit me what I can review instead, as I can't seem to find a review of this special I want to watch on YouTube anywhere. Welcome to the world of You're in the Super Bowl, Charlie Brown. Released in 1984, just days before the Super Bowl 28 game, this is so far the first, only, and probably last animated Peanuts special to air on NBC because they had the rights to said football game, and it was the last one to premiere before Charles M. Schulz, the creator of the Peanuts, bit the dust and descended into the great beyond. And unfortunately, although it got a VHS release, it sadly never saw the light of day on DVD or Blu-ray. Or at least at the time of this video, that is. What a shame. Anyways, consider this video as a preparation for an upcoming Super Bowl game sometime in the future. Now, I will be going over the entire plot of this special in just a sec, so if you haven't seen it yet, you might want to back out now. With that said, here's the kickoff. So what adventures do these kids go on when their parents aren't watching this time, huh? Well, the special begins with Lucy, as per usual, tricking Charlie Brown into kicking the football only to pull it away. However, this time, before it all happens, Peppermint Patty, along with Marcy and Franklin, suddenly enter the story to let them and Linus know that they're having a punt, pass, and kick contest because those things are still bleeping relevant, and that they can all enter. The winner will earn a new bicycle and a ticket to the Super Bowl. Charlie Brown sees his opportunity to kick that football, but you know what? Charlie Brown and Linus then prepare for the practice for the upcoming contest, thinking that one of them might win. While that's going on, they notice a new girl, who is only in this special by the way, named Melody, who makes me wonder if she loves actual Melody, watching them train. Linus immediately develops a crush on her, and in the next scene, they are out for hot fudge sundaes. They then tell her about the punt, pass, and kick contest that they are about to enter. Melody then says that she'll be rooting for them when the time comes. Sometime later, the contest begins as Lucy, Franklin, Peppermint Patty, Pigpen, Marcy, Charlie Brown, and Linus each give it all they got to see who can pass and kick the football the farthest. Well, with the minor exception of Marcy, because she couldn't kick the ball because she has no idea why the ball deserves to be kicked even though it did nothing wrong. When she doesn't realize that footballs are supposed to be kicked. It's an inanimate object, dumb bleep. Anyways, just when it seemed that Linus has won the whole game, suddenly, Melody steps in and takes his victory away from him, even when she's supposed to be rooting for him and Charlie Brown. Melody wins the game, and her pride rides off to the Super Bowl, and we never see her again, leaving Charlie Brown and especially Linus heartbroken. At the end of the special, we see the two leaning on their wall as Linus, after what he saw, say that he'll never trust anyone again. But then Charlie Brown says our moral of the story. Your sister says we can't go through life doubting everyone. We have to learn to trust each other. Lucy then comes in, juggles her football, and Charlie Brown couldn't stand it as the episode ends. Now, believe it or not, for those of you who haven't seen this special yet, I only talked about the meat of it all. You may be wondering, where's Snoopy and Woodstock? Now, hold your horses, I was just getting to that. The special actually begins with Snoopy preparing his Woodstock friends to take on the cats, then dogs, and finally bison at the AFL, aka the Animal Football League. Very clever special, very clever. Anyways, in all three of these games, the birds dominate their opposing teams and get all the points, while the other animals get nothing. In the first two games, Charlie Brown, Linus, and the other birds watch and cheer for them in the distance, but in the third game, Lucy comes in and gives unwanted advice to Snoopy about the game they're playing. After the first two games, the birds poured Chirp Aid, which is a parody of Gatorade by the way, on Snoopy. Then in the third game, they poured on Lucy for giving unwanted advice. Okay, Now I covered the entire story here. Can we move on now? Good. I really like how it's a special that you could watch right before a Super Bowl game happens. It really has this football theme to it that makes it worth watching. Not to mention, I feel like this is a special that really works with the Peanuts since Lucy keeps pulling away that stupid football nonstop. So to see Charlie Brown finally kick that football multiple times while visible, it just makes it satisfying to watch, even if he didn't do it to Lucy. I also like the previously mentioned moral of the story. In other words, while there are people out there who may betray you, you can't go through life not trusting anyone in life, because there are good people out there in this world who will keep their trust, and you can't lash out at people who didn't do anything wrong because someone else betrayed you. I don't think I've seen a moral like this be taught to kids before, and I like that it's there even if they didn't show the moral here. The animation is simple and cheap. The voice acting from both the kids and adults is top notch, especially the kids, because you wouldn't think that they would be able to put good effort into their performances at their young ages without being too annoying, but they pulled it off very well. Also, I just love the fact that when Lucy kicks the football at the punt, pass, and kick contest, it lands flat on her head, and she loses points when it stops behind her instead of in front of her. I guess Lucy had to get her comeuppance for not allowing Charlie Brown to kick the football whatsoever, huh? Also, I just love the moments of the football flying to the music in this special. Need I say more? Bad! Remember when I talked about Charlie Brown and Snoopy's stories individually? Well, that's because they never connect with each other. Now, before you argue, oh, but you said Charlie Brown and Linus are watching the first two games that the Woodstock Birds competed, and at the punt, pass, and kick contest, we see Woodstock go by with a sign reading "Stay in shape." You did not pay attention to this special, you oblivious YouTuber. Dislike, unsubscribe. I'm never watching your videos again. First off, bleep you, and second off, I said their stories never connect with each other. Got that? Good. Anyhow, Charlie Brown and Linus' story is actually the main story, so why do we need to have this pointless Snoopy side plot, let alone one that begins this special? I guess it's to have that football game action this special needed. Seriously, Snoopy's story is more pointless than in the Peanuts movie, and that movie may have had reasons to have that in. Speaking of Snoopy's story, they pretty much continuously reuse animation throughout. Like they can't come up with any new movements to animate. That's like Michael Bay lazy. Another complaint is that aside from Melody's portrayal probably being easy to predict since we first see her watching Charlie Brown and Linus train for the contest, meaning she must be up to no good, how she portrays them just came out of nowhere. One moment she's rooting for them in her normal clothes, and eventually she's in her football uniform winning the game. Continuity much? She then keeps her kind attitude with her as we never see her again, never realizing the error of her ways. I wish there was a reason explained as to why she decided to step in at the last minute, but that would be too long for this special to handle, huh? I guess squishing that ball can get you victorious somehow, wouldn't it? Now, this is a small nitpick, but how come in the Animal Football League, the cats, dogs, and bison never have anything come out of their mouths? Yes, I know that animals don't talk in this universe, but Snoopy and Woodstock talk gibberish. So why can't the other animals? Another complaint, oh gosh, when is this gonna end? Is that this special is kinda dated. I mean, there's no more punt, pass, and kick contests. The NFL logo has changed, and I think a couple football uniforms in this special are out of date now. But hey, at least it isn't trying to be hip and cool like a certain Ice Age movie right here. Oh, and the birds in this special are named after people who may not have lasted too long. The bottom line is, during the Super Bowl, Charlie Brown is a decent special that does what a Peanuts special should do. Yeah, I had my issues with it, but aside from Melody's portrayal, betrayal, none of them bothered me that much. Kids can easily belly slide into this and come out cheering like Charlie Brown, Linus, and the Birds at the AFL. The other things I like, by the way, and adults can get something good out of it, whether it's immoral or not. It's worth your ticket to the Super Bowl for the national finals. If you have a VHS of this special, you might want to convert it into a DVD so you won't have to worry about rewinding and damaging your tape. Just a thought. So with that said, I'm going to give this special 4 fingers out of 5. Alright folks, that's it for my first special review. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, etc. I'm the Purple Mario, and please people, sign this petition at change.org to have the SpongeBob SquarePants song Sweet Victory performed at the Super Bowl 53 halftime show in February 3rd, 2019 for the late great Steven Hillenburg if you haven't already done so. The link to the petition will be in the description below.